shoulder to ride. Shop now at ruralking.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be partly sunny with a thunderstorm in a couple of spots this afternoon. High today 89 to 91. Then look for a thunderstorm in spots this evening. Otherwise partly cloudy tonight, low 72 to 76. Wednesday will be sunny to partly cloudy with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon. High on Wednesday 88 to 90. Thunderstorm in the afternoon Thursday, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Waldron.
Blockers Furniture is having their huge Independence Day 4th of July sale. We're talking an 80,000 square foot showroom full of savings. Beautiful sectionals starting as low as $19 per month. Check out the Dunwell Power Headrest Sofa with savings up to $200. You can save up to $600 on select queen storage bed with dresser and mirror sets. And right now during Blockers Furniture Independence Day 4th of July sale, mattresses start at just $3.99. And all outdoor furniture and accessories 25% off. Blockers Furniture, 2402 Southwest College Road, Ocala. See store for complete offer details.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com. That's right. It's In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. She's here every Tuesday taking your questions via the phone. 352-622-9622 is the number to call if you got any questions about your flower beds, your flower pots, your gardens, your grass, your trees, your bushes. Carol Ann is here to answer them for you. Carol Ann, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Did you get your digital up and running?
Yes.
So you were connected to the
I'm
World
connected.
Wide Web.
The World Wide Web,
The
yes.
super highway.
Yeah.
Remember when they were called? Remember when
Oh,
people referred to it?
yeah.
The World Wide Web, the super highway.
It was information technology.
Yeah,
Sure.
somebody told me the other day, what is a sound that somebody born in 2020, somebody born in 2000 or since, you know, they're 22-year-olds this year.
Right.
What is a sound that you could make? What's the sound you could play that they would have no idea what it was, but everybody your age would know?
The dial-up
and the
sound.
dial-up sound.
The dial-up. It's funny how I guessed that right away, didn't it? Yeah.
You know, they don't. I told my niece, you know, at one time we actually took a phone and put it into a double cup. That's how you got on the internet.
Wow. See, that was before my technology. Well, here's one for you. Do you remember Web TV?
I do.
And you know what's funny? My dad was not. He liked communications.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had the CB radios and stuff in the 70s and stuff like that, and he didn't get into ham. But then when Web TV came out, because at that time PCs were still very expensive,
right? And
still new technology. So he got the Web TV thing, and he loved it. He had more fun with that, and I mean, at that point, he was the older generation,
right?
So to get into that kind of thing, and it was funny because then it was like, oh, for $40, I think it was like, or maybe it might have been as much as $100. I don't recall now. You could get this and hook up to your TV and have internet, and there were a lot of people where the PC was actually becoming popular. Still use the Web TV for their email because it had no storage. It had no capability for virus.
Right, none.
Because you could not do.
You couldn't store anything.
You couldn't store anything.
You know,
so there was nothing to find.
You know, great trivia question.
Yeah.
What model PC is the best-selling PC in the history of the world with over 9 million units sold?
Whoa.
And everybody goes, well, a Dell. Well, no, Dell makes a bunch of models.
Which
what one model?
Oh, God, who knows? I don't know.
The Commodore 64. it sold more models. And remember, because it was a computer box and everything that you hooked up to your television.
Right.
It had the little turn model. It had the
Yep,
keyboard, and it had 64 megabytes of memory. 64 megs of memory.
I think what?
The Commodore 60.
A flip phone has that. Now,
Oh, yeah.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Commodore 64 sold 9 million units.
Wow.
I had a Commodore 64. We had one at the house. We had one.
Yeah.
I remember my mom. She would come home, and she would bring these big plastic round discs.
Oh, the
for
movie.
the computer.
Yeah. For the computer.
That they would take out and bring it home with them, so nobody could steal their
information.
Their files. Yeah, because they ran a car part store, and they had all the inventory and all on these computers.
Okay.
And so every night you would
take this
just like you have floppy disk, except this disc was about a foot and a half around, and you would pull it out and then you would carry it like a suitcase or something. Yeah. It was the weirdest thing.
Well, you remember the what was it? Was that Beta?
Oh yeah, the Beta tapes.
Now they're DVDs.
For the VCR.
The VCR, right? Yeah, they were like an album.
Well, Beta and VHS. You had the digital recordings or whatever. They were big old. They looked like records.
Like an album, right? Looked like a record album.
And you put it in, and it'd play on your TV.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Wonder if we could have got some sort of a gardening show on those discs back then.
Oh, I'm sure that you probably could have.
Precursor to HGTV.
Right.
I'm watching the other day. I'm flipping through, and they had one of those renovate my house and sell or save.
Right. Yeah.
And they talked about that they revamped. They came in and did They did about $35,000 worth of renovation to the inside.
Right.
They did $20,000 of outside renovation for curb appeal, landscape, and everything. And I thought
landscape, hardscape.
Yeah, and I thought they didn't put any trees in or anything. They just ripped out grass, put grass in, put pavers in. And I'd forgotten that it could get pricey quick.
Very, very much so. It's gardening. That's why we usually say, take a bite at a time. And if you're on any of the gardening Facebook pages, other pages where they're saying, this took me 5 years, or I moved in and I have this blank slate. How should I get a little bite, or even that people have been on a property for 15, 20 years, and they're always making little changes because things change, things grow, and you go in and you change it little by little, and you get the results you want.
One of the biggest expenditures on this house, though, was demolition.
Oh,
outside.
Right. Must have like an old deck or no?
Bamboo.
Ooh.
The removal of bamboo.
Yes.
Because it's not an easy process, I found out watching this show.
No. Bamboo has a root system. I mean, it will prevent erosion. It is a great barrier that not much is going to go through it. Makes great privacy, but oh Lord,
they went out with a backhoe and dug it up like that. I mean, they dug 4 feet down in the ground to get all, and then they had to replace the dirt and everything. It was quite the expenditure just to get the bamboo. I think they said the bamboo removal was like $5,600.
Right. Yeah, because it was $4,000 to rent the backhoe for the half a day or whatever it was. Yeah.
I don't know what that costs, but you got to have the right tool to get bamboo out.
You do, and those and that's why. Around here, it's like, it's not something you really want to put in unless you are staying for an extended period of time at your home, and realize the size that it can get. And
this bamboo on this show was like 25 foot tall.
Right.
And it was leaning towards the backyard
because it probably didn't get enough sun
on the other side. And it just looked like a mess.
Side.
It was and the previous owner, when they'd said that the previous owner said, you're going to have to do something with the bamboo. I haven't messed with it in over 20 years.
Right. They just put it in the ground, and then it got overwhelming, and so they let it be. When people do put in bamboo, it is recommended that you do the clumping bamboo, because there's clumping and there's runner. Runner, you will hate yourself. Your neighbors will hate you. All kinds of people will hate you. because running just means exactly what it is.
It runs.
It will run. It will come up away from where you originally planted it, and a good distance away. And trying to control that is going to be hard, especially if you don't see it. And so if you really, bamboo is beautiful. It can have wonderful uses if
And
you're
its
crafting.
privacy fence is fantastic.
Great privacy. If you're a crafter, the different varieties, you can get some that are very large pieces that can be furniture size, and you get the ones cane pole size, and those are all different varieties of bamboo. If you want to get a real good look and see what different bamboos do well in this area, go up to Kanapahal Gardens up there in Gainesville. They've got a lot of
bamboo
different
up there.
bamboos up there, and they actually run an annual. I'm not sure if it's just once a year or twice a year. They do a big sale when they divide out, or as they're working to control their bamboo, they cut some of it out, and you can get some there.
352-622-9622 is the number to call. You will you'll be happy with what I'm fixing to tell you.
Okay.
I am coachable.
You are
I listen to my wife because she is all-knowing,
Yes.
and I also listen to you.
Okay.
I'll give you a prime example
Okay.
after we come back from the break.
All right.
We'll be back after this timeout. You're listening to Ocala Talks in the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hello, I'm Mark Sears with Regency Printing. With over 10 years in the printing business, I know you'll find Regency Printing the place for all your local printing needs. Plus, I have fax services, mailbox rentals, notary service, U.S. mail, pack and ship, all at one convenient location, 2375 Northeast 25th Avenue. Just look for the yellow signs. Regency Printing, 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Regency Printing.
Hey everybody, check out the all-new garden decor section at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street. If you've not been to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery lately, you owe yourself a special treat, a visit to the all-new garden decor section. You'll find clay pots just $10 each when you buy 2 or more. A giant-sized bale of Bob's famous pine straw mulch won't blow away and won't float away, just $5.99. Concrete bird baths, many creative designs, all 30% off. And your favorite wind chimes, all 20% off. And of course, all indoor foliage, a huge selection, 50% off. Check the ad at bobwinescamelliagardens.net. Then hurry on down to Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. Special store hours daily till 4, Saturdays till 3. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, keeping Ocala green and growing for 70 years.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic, agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind?
That's right. It's In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. She's here every Tuesday taking your calls at 352-622-9622 for In the Garden. Carol Ann, before we went to break, I said you'll be happy to know I listened to you. Yesterday I got instructions from my wife to the electric fence we have, the hot wire we have around the backyard to keep our mongrels in because they like to dig out.
Right.
Now the thing hadn't even been plugged in probably 2 months. They just know it's there and they're like, okay, we're not. So, but you got to keep the weeds down.
Otherwise
it won't operate.
Right.
So I got the weed eater, I got the pump out and everything, and my wife says, go get the pump. I couldn't open it. You go get it ready so you can spray the weeds. You need to spray the weeds today. I said, I was off yesterday afternoon, so that's what I'll do. So I go out in the garage, open first off before I get the chemicals out. Now I open the garage door to vent the garage properly. And as I'm out there, I look up and I go, that's a pretty black cloud off to the south of me. I go, Carol Ann would tell me, go check the radar.
Make sure it's not going to rain.
So I walked inside to check the radar, and it said that it was like 2:15, and the radar said the next 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it was like 78% chance of rain. I go, Carol Ann would tell me to not spray, so I'm not going to spray. And then if it doesn't rain in the next hour or so, I'll go out and spray.
If this passes over,
But if it doesn't rain, because once it's wet, you don't want to go spray either.
You want to wait a little bit.
15 minutes later, the bottom fell out. I go, Carol Ann will be happy to know that I listened to her.
That you listened,
Because it would have done no good. It would have washed away.
Yeah.
I would have wasted my time. I'd have wasted my product. And who knows what I'd have poisoned with the runoff.
And right. Instead of it being absorbed, it would have been rinsed off and
it may have trailed through my neighbor's yard. Because it runs down our property line. It runs right the way that the property lines are. There's kind of it runs through the ditch.
You've got the
runs down there. Now I got a burn mark all the way down to the ditch.
Right.
You're
not looking to kill that off. It's just. And now, were you using a regular brush killer or the one that's like a weed and grass?
I was using a industrial weeding grass.
Okay. So you definitely would not have wanted that to run off quickly because anything it would have gotten would have.
It mixed with that water and washed away, and there'd have been brown trail.
Yeah.
Where it killed everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's been it's some of those things that we don't even think about that. The after effects, or even if you're spraying beds, or you've got the lawn guy coming through, and it's like you're tired of pulling weeds, or you just can't get ahead of it, so you tell your guy to go ahead and spray the weeds in the beds, or you're doing it. Make sure that when you're spraying that, you're not walking forward through it. You're actually walking backward away from it.
Because you walk forward through it, what happens?
You're getting it on the bottom of your shoes, and then you're going to track it across your lawn.
Footprints across
your lawn. Yeah, you will look like you've been pranked. by your own self. And I've seen pictures of that, and I believe it was actually it was a pest control company that was educating us master gardeners about proper doing, and that it was, I don't know if it was one of his guys that was new or somebody else or a homeowner who had done it, but it was like, here is an example of, you being cautious and being, and not doing,
Well, you just reminded me, so what I need to do then is create some sort of gel that you can apply to the bottom of your shoes, so when you're out trail walking in the woods and everything, if you get lost the next 2 days later, before you die, there's footprints to tell you how to get back.
To find out where you're at. Maybe you could just leave cookie crumbs.
You'll be trapped for 48 hours, but then you'll start to see the brown.
Well,
352-622-9622 is the number to call. So the squash are gone.
They powdery
zucchini gone.
out. Yeah, they mildewed out.
But we're getting bell peppers. But the problem is that Carolyn is the bell pepper plant's no more than about 2 foot tall, and they're making bell peppers about the size of small tomatoes. Now, is that because of the plants themselves, or it was sugar dirt that we just put compost on and everything?
But you had done quite a bit of amending on that soil, so I'm wondering if it isn't the variety, one of what they consider a snacking pepper. You find them in the supermarket. You get the reds, the greens, the yellows, but they're little. They're the little ones that you just grab 1 or 2 and throw them in your lunchbox and have a pepper, or if they are actually. I don't know, didn't get quite enough to get the fruit to be larger. I would give them time and see, if more and more of them are just the small ones.
And they were supposedly red, green, and yellow.
Right.
We have 4. So far, 3 of them are green.
Sometimes they need to ripen up to change color.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Green pepper is usually just that, a green pepper. It's not ripe, just like a green tomato.
Okay.
Some of them do start at a little bit different shade of green. If it's that real dark green, it may stay green, or it may ripen to red.
Yeah, these are the real dark green. They look like green bell peppers.
Right. So, give them a chance. If it starts to blush some color, give it a little longer, and it may get a little more size. I have a coworker who, really did, he did all containers and actually built a really cool raised bed. He's been showing me pictures of it, and he grows hot peppers.
Uh-huh.
He grows ghost peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Because he makes hot sauces and things like that. And they're very good hot sauces at that. But his plants are like fantastic. And they started out as the little bitty transplants, just like pretty much everybody else. And his plants are magnificent. But then again, he mixed commercial, potting mix and garden soils and manures and things like that. And you had a little more of the just fill dirt underneath there.
Right.
But I would have expected a bit more size yet to the plants.
I thought so too, but and we water them about every 3 days.
Right.
That
we
dirt
stopped,
dries out really quick.
And that ends up being the issue. And we've stopped using just the high nitrogen fertilizers.
We do fertilize it a couple times.
Right.
And hadn't done it since.
I'd probably look for one that's a little more of a slow release. There's a couple of them that are out there. Either there are several organic ones that are really good fertilizers. Only problem I have with using them is they also do seem to attract raccoons and armadillos and possums and things like that that like the smell of that kind of stuff, and they dig in the beds after that.
That's no good.
So you may want to go with like a synthetic, but look for something that's got the calcium in it. Try a slow release will feed usually for about 3 months on something like a vegetable garden kind of planting. And go with something like that.
352-622-9622. Sorry I missed your call, caller. I tried to answer it and you went away. So give us a call back. Got about a minute and a half left in this segment before we got to go to break. So 352-622-9622 is the number to call. You can also reach Carol Ann by reaching out on the Facebook In the Garden page.
Yes.
She has it up. She's monitoring it as we speak. So if you want to reach out to her there, you can reach out to her.
Yep.
On the In the Garden page on Facebook.
And on that, share your questions, share solutions, something you've done, pictures, funnies even. I mean, we have a little, you can have a little fun with this. I know a lot of us are on other pages. Maybe you have your own page. If you want to share your page, as long as you're not selling something, I got no problem with that. Or talk to me, if it's something, a community event, say you're part of a garden club or a neighborhood club that does gardening or is having a plant sale or something like that. Hey, I don't have I don't have a problem with that kind of thing.
Give us a call, 352-622-9622. It is In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. You're listening to it on Ocala Talks. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Voters are heading to the polls today in a number of states. They'll be deciding races up and down the ballot in New York, Illinois, Colorado, Utah, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and South Carolina. Ghislaine Maxwell could be condemned to spend the rest of her life behind bars when she is sentenced today for helping pedophile Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse young girls. The bodies of at least 46 people were found dead inside a tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas on Monday after a presumed migrant smuggling attempt went bad. Authorities say 16 people were found in the trailer, including 4 minors that were taken to local hospitals with heat stroke and exhaustion. 3 people have been arrested and taken into custody, and the matter was being pushed to federal authorities. Texas Governor Republican Greg Abbott says these deaths are on Biden's hands because of his open border policy. USA Radio News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
Before I started taking Balance of Nature, I was so exhausted, and they found nothing wrong. Everything was good, just no energy. For years, I was so worn out. Well, I want to tell you, Balance of Nature has been so good for me. I'm 84 years old, and I feel like I'm 30. I want to scream with happiness. I feel like I'm 30 years old now. So I want to thank Balance of Nature for everything, because this has been the best thing I've ever done.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck. Do you suffer from joint pain or anxiety? Natural Life CBD Kratom and Kava can help. Our CBD certified associates will consult with you. Chocolate, gummies, CBD oil. We have Delta 8 products with quality you can trust, all held to the highest standard. Natural Life has 2 locations to serve you, open 7 days a week, located in the S-Curve and in the Heathbrook Shopping Plaza. Give them a call at 352-355-3040. And if you stop in and tell them you heard it on WOCA, you'll receive 20% off your purchase at Natural Life CBD Kratom and Kava.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Nirvana Medical Spa is Ocala's premier medical spa, home to a variety of non-invasive corrective laser treatments and facials. Besides filler, neurotoxin, laser hair, we offer PRP, tattoo removal, body contouring, vaginal rejuvenation, urinary incontinence, and men's sexual health. Become a better, brighter, happier you at Nirvana Medical Spa.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917. Welcome back to In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Let's go right out to the phone lines and welcome Mary to the show. Mary, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Thank you for putting on such a great show. Love when your wife's on and can't wait to hear what Carol Ann will teach me today.
Well, thanks for calling. What's up?
You're wonderful, wonderful. I have little snails on my house. I have little snails on the columns on my driveway.
Yeah.
How do I get rid of my little snails?
Get rid of the little snails? Probably the most effective way is going to be one of the snail baits. 90% of the ones.
Where do I put them?
You're going to put it down near, like, say, the base of the house or around the base of those columns, because that's where they're congregating to. You can also put, like, say, a piece of wood or something else that would be rigid, that right flat on the ground, and during the day they will go underneath that and be on there. You can actually lift that up, find a lot of them, scrape them off into your bucket of soapy water, put them in the, if you had chickens or something like that, they'd probably love them. But that's, the baits, usually when you do the baits, they come in a anywhere from a 1 to 2 or 3 pound bag. You don't just spread it. You put it out with like little piles, here and there and around in the area, in the general area where they're at, and they will come to that, they will consume it, and they will go off and die. The 90% of the ones.
Thank you.
90%.
See how smart you are? That didn't take you 5 seconds to help me out with a real problem.
No, that sure didn't.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Just I do want to give the heads up that most all of the ones on the market are safe around people, pets, that kind of stuff. But do watch. There are 1 or 2 on the market that have, and they do have a little emblem on the front of their bags that has a people and pet in the circle with the line through it. I'd stay away from those because they are attractive scent-wise to animals, and they will consume it. If it's your pet, they will be taking a trip to the vet and be seriously ill. So if I personally stay clear of those. The other ones are all like an iron phosphate based, so you may not see the dead shells right in your area. They don't drop dead instantaneously. They'll come, they'll consume, they'll go off and die. Again, putting a board or something like that down on the ground, it creates some shade for them during the day, so they will go and they'll migrate under. Yeah. They'll go up underneath there. You lift that board up in the middle of the day, and you may see dozens of them. You can scrape them off and dispatch them that way as well.
Now, with the baits, does it, once they consume the baits, they just go off, so you wouldn't
They
collect
just sort
them
of,
anyway.
Right.
But
You're,
the soapy
you may not-
water, once you get them out of the soapy, you drain them out of the soapy water.
They're
I hadn't
done,
even thought about how chicken. Yeah, you're right. You throw that out there, chickens will love that.
Yeah, or I mean, if you've got chickens, just scrape them off into the chicken house, and now, they won't get away.
They won't get. They're a little
They won't get
slow.
far. Yeah,
They're a
they
little
won't
slow.
get far. So,
but it is something. She brings up a very good point, because yesterday when I was out about to spray with the weed and everything, I looked over in the garden, and on the wall of the side of the house, there's probably 10, 15 snails.
Right, or you see or you get up in the morning, you see the slime trail up the sliding glass door, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in the morning, that it's like, oh, okay, they were here. It's time to do something. I've had them get on the car. You'll find them.
Although
on the car.
I do believe that lizards probably consume some of them too. Some lizards.
I'm not sure, because they do have that hard shell,
Yeah.
and so I'm not real sure what the biggest predators, except for maybe birds.
Well, the entire lizard population of the world begins in my driveway. it literally.
I have a couple good ones at my house. I think have one of the green anole.
I had yesterday, and I don't know what kind it is, but it was running down the sidewalk, and it ran out into the road.
Ooh.
It was about probably 6 inches.
Okay.
It was a little thicker body, probably
Right.
about an inch wide body, and it had a blue stripe going down its back.
Oh, the black and the blue stripe?
Yeah.
It's a skink.
Okay.
It's
big lizards would look
yeah,
like
big,
to me.
Yeah, and those are about the only ones that really kind of freak me out, because they're real shiny, and if they stick their head out from behind a flower pot, guess what? It looks like a snake.
Yeah, because they're big.
Yeah,
They can
they're
look like
bigger,
a
and
snake.
they're shiny, so you may just catch a glimpse of them. Those are the ones that really, and it's like, okay, I've got probably 4 of them, and it's like, really, guys? Do you really have to freak me out like that?
Their color base
They
is
are
fantastic.
color. Yeah, they're a black/blue, got the blue stripes down them. Yeah, they are just kind of freaky.
They are freaky.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, you.
Hey, I've got snails on my house too, a few of them here and there. What kind of damage can a snail do? Why do you kill snails? What kind of damage can they do?
They can eat your plants, especially if they're in a large enough They can eat your lawn. They will damage lawn. They will damage ornamental plants, vegetable plants, especially some of the softer plants that they like. Impatiens. And if you ever look at the leaves of some of your plants, and you have holes that are like starting, that it doesn't look like a disease spot, not like brown spot, but an actual hole, and it's in the middle of the leaf, there's a good chance that was caused by a snail or a slug. Yeah.
This is the time of year now that the snails get active.
Right. You'll see a lot more now because it's wet. They're kind of wet and squishy. They're probably about 99% water.
They're slimy yet satisfying.
That's it.
Yeah. They don't do any damage to your car or to your house or anything.
No, just the slime trail. Just kind of, you'll see that shiny look on your, and like I said, on the windows sometimes, or the glass door.
You saute them in a good garlic butter. They're pretty good.
They're big enough. Yeah, if they're big enough, you get them out of there.
I know when I walk my dog down the driveway, she's got her nose on the ground, and she kind of likes those little guys. She kind of gives them a little kiss.
I bet they don't like her.
Oh, no. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, you answered my question, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I don't have enough that I think I have to worry about.
And you may not, right, exactly. It's not something, unless you're seeing a problem, that you really need to do much about it. If you see 1 or 2, it's easy enough to pick them up, and I'm even one to toss them out in the street, hope a bird finds them, because out in the street they at least have a harder time getting back to you, especially during the day.
How long do they live, and how long is their active period?
I think they're actually fairly long-lived. I've never really looked at that to see, because our season, you figure with how moist we are, it's, probably quite a while.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up.
They probably hibernate they probably hibernate in the winter, right? Go on the ground and sleep until it gets warmer.
Or just
the average
we'll find
lifespan
out,
For most wild snails,
2 to 7 years.
2 to 5 years, but larger species could possibly 5 to 15 years.
Right, those are the big. Well, if you think about it, what is a conch?
A snail.
It's a snail. It's a
snail in the ocean.
Right. And there's other freshwater snails. These are land snails. There's the giant African land snail that actually is a problem in South Florida.
You can go out to Clearwater Beach and get out on the sandbar out there, and you reach down and feel lumps in the sand.
Yeah.
You can pull up 12, 15, 20 conchs out there.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, basically, snails live on vegetation, then, right?
On plant matter, sometimes decaying plant matter. They're pretty much a vegetarian kind of thing.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thanks, you. Yeah. So, and escargot's good.
Yes, it is.
It
is.
Yes,
look,
it is. Look, I ain't convinced Matt of nothing. Matt, remember, fat guys, no food.
Escargot is good, and so is conch. Yeah.
Conch's really good.
Yeah, it is.
And somebody goes, "Oh, conch fritters." No, just actual conch is really good.
A conch salad.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, if you don't cook it right, you're just chewing bubble gum.
Right. That's it. That never chews. Yep.
Somebody asked me one time how to cook gator tail. I go, it's real easy. You get your grease really hot, about 500 degrees. You take your gator tail that you've soaked in buttermilk all night to get the gamey out of it. You drop it in the egg batter and
your cornmeal.
Mix, and you drop it in that hot grease for about 90 seconds.
When it floats back up.
If you let it float all the way back up,
it's a little overdone.
By the time you get all of it out, some of it will be overdone.
Gotcha.
Gator meat, about 90 seconds, 2
you
minutes,
done. And let it, By the time it's cool enough to bite, it's
right. But you don't. It's because you got the grease.
Yeah, that hot,
really
hot to the point just before smoking.
You flash fry it.
Yeah,
that's all you're doing is flash fry. So snails are the same way, I bet. Conchs, fritters, and all.
Yeah, you cook pretty quickly.
Because you don't, it's gonna be rubber.
It's gonna be chewy. Yeah, be a bit chewy.
But yeah, so I thought I was the only person that had snail problems. I guess Mary.
Oh, a lot of people have snail problems, and actually, you can find even larger containers than the 1 to 2 pounds. But I mean, that's usually 1 to 2 pounds is what most people buy because that'll take care of the problem. Right. There's some home remedies too of doing now I've never seen a stale beer.
They're what?
Yeah, stale beer.
I've tasted a skunky beer, but that's because it was just old, I asked the bartender for another one.
Right,
I've never had a stale
beer. Yeah, but it's
that'd be like a warm beer. I hear those, but I've never had one of those.
Yeah, never had one of those. Yeah, but no, you can take. If you are a beer drinker, don't use your good beer. Go out and buy a can of cheap beer or whatever. Can you still buy a quart bottle?
I don't know. I drink PBR, so I don't know what you're talking about. I drink Pabst Blue Ribbon, so some people would say that I got it right. That I got the beer you're talking about.
Rednecks, White Sox, and Blue Ribbon beer.
Thank you.
Yep. But you get the butter tubs. We buy the margarine tubs and things like that. You want one that's a decent size, not the real little ones, not the little. Well, maybe the little 1-pounders would even do. And you need to cut little windows out of them, out of the side of the container. Keep your lid because you're going to use your lid too. Don't cut those windows all the way down because you're going to leave a reservoir in the bottom. Dig a little hole in the garden, deep enough to put just the bottom of that container in the garden so that your windows are right about at ground level. Pour your beer in there, put the lid back on. The lid keeps the leaves from getting in it. It keeps rain from getting in there. And the snails and such are attracted to stale beer. And yes, I made quote unquote. Yes, I don't know what stale beer.
Quotes.
I made air quotes. They are attracted to that. They will go into it and they will drown. So you can go around and fish out your dead snails, throw them away, and do like that in the garden. But that can be a little more, work involved. So, if you want something easy, the baits are better. But again, stay away from the ones with the methyl dehyde in it, the one with the, don't use around people and pets.
And they will, snails, if you got a bad problem with snails and grubs, they will get your yard.
Yes, yeah.
They can get the yard pretty quick.
Yes.
You don't think they can move, but they can consume.
They can consume, and you get a large enough population, because what happens is it doesn't happen overnight. These have built up as a population because we didn't see them for a while, or did not take care of it when we did begin to see the problem.
Now, in that flower, they're in the bed. They're all on the side of the house near the garden.
Near the garden area, they're probably down in the leaf litter and mulch areas during the day. That's why I said you can put a plank, put a piece of wood on the ground, and then pick that up during the hot of the day. They will be underneath there because that's still moist and cool.
Yeah, because that's the side of the house that the shade gets to first.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're up on the side of the building, because
they've been shaded, and they can get up. And I don't know what they're after on the side of the building, but they do go up.
Stick on the side of the building.
They stick up there on the side, and which makes it easy. You can go over there and pluck them all off.
Well, yesterday I had about 6 or 7 of them that were just behind the trellis to the cucumbers.
Okay. Yeah.
And I thought, well, the natural progression is they get all the way up to the top and get on the trellis and come work their way down.
Right, or figure out how to reach their way across. Their little bodies do stretch out from underneath
they got
those shells.
smorgasbord when they get to the
exactly.
those big cucumber leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And they can get onto the fruit as well, and eat the vegetables as well. So that's where their problem in the vegetable garden is that they will also consume your part of the harvest. Keeping an eye out for them. You can use like I said, the ones that are the iron phosphate into, if you've got containers or just in the vegetable garden, you can use it in there safely. You're not there's not a concern on poisoning yourself.
So I checked today with Mike's weather page on Facebook, Tom Sorrells at News 6,
okay,
and with WCJB Channel 20 out of Gainesville.
Okay.
Today, 45% to 50% chance of rain in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 45 to 50% rain in the afternoon. Thursday, 45 to 50% rain in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Friday, 75%.
If it falls on the weekend. Yep.
Saturday, like 45, 50%.
Yeah.
We're really in the rainy season now.
It's the rainy season is here. It is, though it is still, it's been a little hit and miss on certain areas. I didn't get any rain yesterday or the day before, but we got it the 2 days before that. The bad storms, Friday and Saturday.
Friday at the golf course.
Yeah.
No, Saturday. Saturday, it rained Thursday and Friday. We played Saturday at the golf course. Galen lives about 3 miles as the crow flies from the golf course.
Okay.
I asked him, I said, "Did you get any rain?" He goes, "Not much. We got the Thursday, Friday thing." He goes, "Saturday, though, it poured from about 10 o'clock in the morning to about 2.
Yeah.
And I go, "Where?" He goes, "At my house." And I go, "It didn't rain a drop at the Ocala Municipal Golf Course on 40. Galen literally lives 3 miles from there, and he said he got almost an inch of rain.
Right.
At the same time we were playing golf.
But you're playing golf, right.
And we didn't even see the clouds. They were 3 miles away because of the hills and how they work.
Right.
You would have never known that close to the golf course it had been a deluge.
Right.
And that's the hit and miss that's going on.
And I was going to say, because I want to say it was Friday. Was it Friday, Saturday?
Thursday was the bad wind and the storm.
Okay, and then
Friday was the deluge.
Okay, and then Friday, because I was at work Friday, right? I was off Saturday. So yeah, Friday it rained for about 4 or 5 hours there at work.
Well, it rained
at
hard
points
enough.
Really hard, and then slacked off and just rained.
It rained hard enough in Ocala that Pine and 200 was like 2 foot of water, 2.5 foot of water.
And I was going to say, wasn't further out on 40 they had a 40 and 25.
Right, 40 and 25
Avenue.
they closed.
Yes, and 25th
right.
Avenue because
it
was
underwater.
For a
while. It was underwater. The golf course, its rain gauge at the golf course only holds 6 inches. It was full.
Yeah.
But they don't know when it got full.
Right, at what point, right.
The lake, the little pond where they used to do this Symphony Under the Stars that set up on the green, had the little pond.
Mm-hmm.
That little pond was right up against the green. It was open. The rocks were gone and everything. Right. It's a buffer. All the stakes around the pond that show you there's a pond there, they were underwater. And the pond had literally come out into the 4 fairway and had consumed about 35 yards of the number 4 fairway where there's not usually water.
Not usually, right.
It consumed, and when I mean consumed it,
right,
there was a couple foot of water in there.
Wow.
So the lake had come out of its
Yeah,
bank,
yeah.
and it wasn't just a little bit. There was like 2 foot of water.
Right. And because we're not saturated yet, it absorbed probably rather quickly within the day. I mean, that's a lot of water to go away in just a couple of hours, but probably within a day.
Well,
or
it
so
had done it
was,
Friday, and then Saturday morning, you could see where it had receded.
But it was
couple
still
feet,
out.
but
Yeah,
it was still out.
Yeah.
Well,
So
the one that got me is, they've made 40 now, to where when they redid 40 and everything and rebuilt the golf course and all, they came into 40, and those medians in the middle of the road are really retention ponds.
Right.
They're shaped in V.
They're
and they have
areas that'll
drains.
take the storm water runoff off the road, off of parking lots.
For about 2 hours, though,
Yeah.
you couldn't drive down 40.
Yeah.
Till it ran
Just,
through
yeah,
the drain.
right.
That's how hard it had rained.
Right.
And that rain is not good for vegetation, correct?
No, because it's just runoff, and that's another reason why
Washouts are created.
Why we don't put things down when we have rain expected. Oh, it's going to rain today. I'll put my fertilizer down. Where's your fertilizer?
In the drains.
In the drains, right? You didn't even fertilize the neighbor's yard. No, you fertilized the lake, the local retention area, possibly runoff to the river or the creek or whatever that's heading down towards where the spring. So
You know something else we saw a lot of? Because there were trees down everywhere.
Yes.
Thursday
there
and
was
Friday,
some small.
trees down.
There was some. A friend of mine, their security camera picked up a small tornado that spun down their street.
We at the golf course, a lot of trees were down, but there was one major oak tree that fell out into the fairway, and it was probably 6-7 foot in circumference around.
Yeah.
It was a big oak tree.
Yeah.
But it's still a water oak. It wasn't a live oak. It was a water
Right.
oak. And it fell. It snapped right at the base. It didn't
Right at the
actually
ground.
pull out
Right.
the roots. It snapped right at the ground. And so the tree was laying down, and you could
look into it.
Just hollowed out,
Yep.
rotten and hollowed.
Yep.
And when you looked at the canopy of the tree and everything,
Was green as could be.
Green as could be.
Yep, and that's
you'd
that's
have no
what's
idea
deceiving.
that tree was damaged.
Sometimes you might have seen, if you looked around on the trunk, and anybody at home that's got the water oaks, look around, you'll see that dark black spot. It almost looks a little like grease or tar or something like that, or might look like part of that trunk is just folding in. And that's where you're going, yeah, the inside of that tree is probably not there. The only thing holding that tree up and supporting the tree are those outer cambium layers. It has no heart left. It has no center
But I would think
structure.
it would be dead then. But
No, but the cambium layers are still taking water all the way up to the top. And it was just that one rotted off there at the ground, but it probably happened, or just the damage, the wind, and that just snapped it off right
Oh, I'm sure. It looked
because
like
there was
wind.
nothing. Because there was nothing but maybe 6 inches when you got a tree around that big, 4 or 6 inches around that outer part of it that is holding that tree up.
I mean, it looked like these tunnels and burrows that you look through. I shine the phone light down there and everything. I was like, well, some squirrel or something loved this tree.
Yeah, and you
They
look
probably
down, you
lived
look down
inside of it
into
and
where the
everything.
roots were, and you see
There's
it's just
holes all down
rotted
there,
out,
yeah.
all in there. And think about what is it? What is it? Is it rigatoni? That's the pasta with that hole in the middle of it.
That you make ziti with.
Yeah.
Make ziti.
The ziti noodles, and that's what the oak tree looks like on the inside.
It did.
Is that you got a thin outer layer, and then that center being.
Didn't lose very many pine trees, but quite a few oak trees, and they were all rotten in the middle.
Right, yep. So.
Buddy Martin lost an oak tree at his house, rotten in the middle.
Yeah.
Took out his carport.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rotten in the middle, and that's typical of water oaks, correct?
It is. It is that they are a long-lived tree, but when they go, it can be deceiving because just like you said, the canopy looked like it was just fine. And like you said, you had the arborist come out this year and take a look at some of your trees because you have a big, huge canopies
and
on
they look
those trees.
very healthy.
And you were told that they were
right.
So you should be good. And that's a couple of trees that maybe every few years it might be something to keep in the budget to have an arborist come out. And actually since your mentioning of that, I've actually recommended to a few different people, customers coming through to work, hey, call, I'm not a pro. Your guy who comes and cuts limbs off, he's not necessarily an arborist. He might be good at his job, but you're looking for somebody who's going to tell you if that tree is healthy.
Right.
And that's going to be an arborist.
And the three main trees in our yard that create shade
Mhm.
are all 40-plus foot tall.
Right.
They all have huge canopies,
Mhm.
and they're all water oaks.
And they're probably all 60, 80 years old, possibly, or more.
I don't know if they were put there
Right.
or if they were, if they were put there by the homeowner 30
Originally,
years ago, or if they
right.
were
And they-
there
yeah.
and they just didn't clear those off because they left
Because
them.
they were nice-looking trees.
Right.
And either way is possible, but...
Yeah, so I don't know, but it is something that it frightens me. Water oaks scare me.
Right. Water oaks can be dangerous.
Especially in Florida in the rainy season, because they could just get waterlogged and their root system give way.
Exactly.
Because their root system is mainly above ground.
Right. It's not they're not super deeply rooted. The roots run across. And that's a reason why we also don't change the grade above our trees. On the root system. Is that, yes, that oak tree has roots that come up in your lawn. They've been that way for a very long time. If you bury that, it's now not getting as much air in that area where that tree needs that.
Right.
And so we don't put block around that great big 30-year-old oak tree and fill it in with 6 inches of soil unless you're really trying to kill the tree.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Caroline, how can people find you?
They can find me at work today, and they can find us in the Garden Facebook group page.
In the Garden Facebook group page or at Lowe's down in Lady Lake.
Down in Lady Lake. Yep.
Caroline Baldwin, Master Gardener Caroline Baldwin, thanks so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Yes.
We'll be back with Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Auto. Find out how much I owe him, because I bet it's probably an unborn child or something. We'll do that next. You're listening to Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
46 migrants were found dead in the back of a tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas on Monday. Law enforcement officials said 16 others, 12 adults and 4 children, were taken to local hospitals with heat-related injuries. Police Chief William McManus.
A worker who works in one of the buildings up here behind me heard a cry for help, came out to investigate, found a trailer with the doors partially open, opened them up to take a look, and found a number of deceased individuals inside.
The U.S. military is reporting a drone strike in Syria's Idlib province killed a senior leader of an al-Qaeda-aligned terrorist group on Monday. Abu al-Yemeni, a senior leader for Haras al-Din, was traveling alone on a motorcycle at the time of the strike. USA Radio News.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshares. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, well, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sounds crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-478-7733. 800-478-7733. 800-478-7733.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Priorities for agriculture and the climate. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
They say farming isn't a career, it's a way of life. While the work is rewarding, the daily stresses can be both physically and emotionally demanding. Sadly, 50% of farmers say it's difficult to access therapy or counseling in their community. Our 24-hour helpline changes that. Call 211 or text FARM-FL to 898-211. You don't have to deal with stress or anxiety alone. Learn more at 211.org.
The House Ag Committee recently discussed the role of climate research in agricultural resiliency. Ranking member Representative Glenn G.T. Thompson gave his 4 guiding principles on the matter.
Climate policies need to benefit
producers, our farmers, our ranchers, and our foresters primarily. Whatever we do when it comes to policy and climate and agriculture, they need to be the primary beneficiaries. They need to be rewarded for, quite frankly, what they're doing today and what they can do with more tools as we provide them for them in helping them increase production, efficiency, profitability. Second principle is you can't have a healthier environment without a healthier economy. That is the fatal flaw of many proposals that have been floating around here for a couple years in Washington, such as the new Green Deal. If it would happen to be implemented, which would be unfortunate, it wouldn't last a year because it would crush the economy, and we know that you can't have a healthier environment without a healthier economy, and vice versa, actually. And the third principle is that, we should truly be science-based and not political science. For too long, the climate discussion has been based in political science. We need to be a real science, as I like to say, according to God's law. And finally, the fourth principle is that we need to start with what we know works, and that's the Farm Bill's provisions.
I'm Sabrina Halverson for the Southeast AgNet.
Unbeatable prices and events are popping up everywhere at Rural King, like an antique steel fire pit for just $49.98. Or your choice of 27-foot tie-down ratchet straps, just $7.99 a piece. And don't miss taking a spin on the baddest mowers at our Lawn Mower Rodeo, Saturday, June 18th from 10 till 2. Must be 16 or older to ride. Shop now at RuralKing.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
When it really counts, depend on the